A few years ago, I had a chance to visit with someone who was the Entrepreneur of the Year for the state of Arizona. And I remember him saying once, probably the most important characteristic that a person can have is initiatives. And I have found that to be true in my career as a professor. If a student has initiative, it's amazing the doors that open. So the foundation of all of this, the premise is that we have the ability to choose. We have the ability to create our future, that we don't have to be victims. And so as we enter the educational process, whatever level, if it's a trade school or a community college, whatever aspect of education, we have the ability to make choices and to not be an object that's acted upon. I think one of the problems that we face, and I think what students come into, is an environment that does not value or does not facilitate or encourage commitment. I think families are being torn apart. I think you have organizations that in many cases just act upon their own best interest with not much account taken for employees. I think we have politicians that have a hard time making a commitment and they just go with the flow. So I think students are coming into an environment that does not really value or facilitate commitment. And so I think it's natural for a student to come in and say, I don't know what I want to do. I want to leave my options open. One of the most powerful quotes that I've found when it comes to initiative is something that was written by William Hutchins Murray. And this was a while back. This is back in 1951 in a book called The Scottish Himalayan Expedition. And he says this: until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. And here's the thought: the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets: whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. I love that quote. And if I think a student can grab hold of that idea that once we make a decision, once we take initiative, things will start to flow. And sometimes I think we can build up a decision to the point where we go, it's almost like a mountain we can't climb. But I think you'll find the moment you start climbing that mountain, you'll find power to continue. And I've seen that time and time again where students look back and go, it wasn't that hard. Boy, once I made a decision, everything just started to come together. So here again, to take that initiative, I think is one of the most powerful characteristics that individuals can have. So at the end of the day, what is this about? It is about being an employable quality graduate with opportunities. I think one of the most enjoyable things for me and gratifying is to hear of students that have gone out and just had amazing careers. I just visited with one last week, a very successful business person in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. It's just amazing. It's wonderful to make that connection. For a student who chooses to act and to move forward, even though you might change your path, it's so important that we move forward. I love the idea of good information makes for good inspiration. And often that inspiration will come on the move as we're moving. And so we get out of the apartment, we get online, we start doing our research, and we start answering the question, if I had to go to work tomorrow, what would I do?